Welcome back to the home of the Daytona Tortugas, Jackie Robinson Ballpark in Daytona Beach, Florida. Day 3 of the 42 Challenge for the Creekside Knights, and they face a familiar foe in this one, the Atlantic Coast Stingrays, who knocked off Creekside by a score of 4-2 in the second game of the season. The Knights looking for some revenge and looking to advance to the tournament championship tomorrow against Spruce Creek with a win tonight. Hello, everyone, and welcome into the broadcast. I am Noah Schlick, bringing you tonight's action live on Schlick Sports. We've got some Thursday night baseball coming up. Creekside has knocked off back-to-back top 10 teams in the state in back-to-back days, and last night came in dramatic fashion. Creekside blew a 3-run lead late in the game. In the bottom of the 8th, though, Creekside able to come away with the walk-off win over the Windermere Wolverines, courtesy of Anthony Romeo. 3-2 count, winning run on third, 2 outs in the inning. Type of stuff you dream of as a kid. He sends one into right field for a base hit, ending the game and carrying Creekside over the then number 3 team in the state. Windermere ended up advancing to the Final Four. They lost earlier to Spruce Creek, who will be the team that the winner of this game will go on to face in the championship. Creekside beat Spruce Creek in a really good ball game a couple weeks ago. And after losing to Atlantic Coast earlier this season, a lot of teams they're seeing in this tournament they've already seen one time around, and Creekside's been able to get right against the previous team they faced, Haggerty, and now they'll look to do the same against Atlantic Coast. The temperature 73 degrees, the wind blowing hard at 18 miles per hour. I heard we're getting a wind advisory for this one, and it is blowing out to right field. So we'll see how the lefties like that one, and it's a tough matchup for Atlantic Coast. And Gavin Dupre, a guy with the wind, his style of pitching works with it. He forces a lot of soft contact, a lot of ground balls. Dupre enters this start with an ERA sitting at 166. He came in relief in the 7th inning last night and earned the win in that game against Windermere. He gets the start tonight. He's appeared in 6 games, 4 of them starts, 21 and a third on the mound. That whip under 1. He has struck out 23 while walking 8 and 25 and a third on the mound. He's coming off of a nice start his last time out. That was on the road at North Marion. He went 5 innings, allowing 4 hits, 1 run, which was unearned. He struck out 8 while walking 1. Creekside pitchers have been on a roll recently. In their last 5 games, the Knights pitching staff has only allowed 1 earned run, but the defense behind them has been a little sketchy and a bit of a struggle. They've committed 6 errors over the last 2 games, trying to play some clean baseball tonight to take down the Stingrays. We send you down to the field now for the starting lineups and the national anthem ahead of first pitch here on Schlick Sports. And it is time for baseball on Schlick Sports and in the 42 Challenge. Time now to take a look at how these teams shape up in this matchup. First, the batting order for the visiting team in this matchup, Atlantic Coast. They are led off by Noah Prudencio, followed by Delvin Haskell and Wade Serber. Heart of the order, Tibbetts, Slowicka, and Connor Newman. 7-8-9, Caden Williams, Antonio Baez, and Aramis Pabon. This is an AC team that has been swinging it well all year. A powerful offense. They've outscored their opponents 114 to 65. Comes out to an average of 8 runs per game. As a team, they are hitting .315. They've got multiple guys up over 400, Tibbetts, Haskell, and Prudencio. It's a powerful lineup going up against a powerful pitcher on the mound for the Creekside Knights, the sophomore Gavin Dupre. Dupre pitching in the same ballpark where his father Pete used to pitch in the minor leagues while he was with the Cubs organization. His brother Logan actually pitched in this tournament as well a couple years ago, so some full circle moments for the Dupre family. Dupre this season has been incredible. The sophomore stands 6'3", 200. That fastball runs up in the high 80s, tops out around 89. His ERA at 166. Opponents hitting just 191 against Dupre. With the wind blowing out hard in this one, it's going to be about forcing soft contact, and that's something Gavin does really well. 69% of the time, weak contact on pitches from Gavin Dupre, 52% on the ground. Really impressive stat from him. When balls are put in play, opponents hitting just 254. Tells you something about the contact that's made and the amount of success they have when they actually are able to hit off of Dupre. And he strikes out a good amount of batters as well. He had 8 in his last outing. Gets it done in a lot of ways. A very complete pitcher. And we'll see who ends up winning this power-on-power matchup, Atlantic Coast and their batting order, or Gavin Dupre and the Creekside Knights. We are underway. First pitch at 7:01, and it is a ball. 1-0 on the leadoff man, shortstop Noah Prudencio. Shoots one out into left, and the catch is made by Zach Jackson. One away, and time now to take a look at how the Knights line up on defense. In the outfield, Jackson Bysham Williams. In the hot corner, Parker Morton with Benechek at short and Tony Romeo at second. Tavern Blanchett, the first baseman, with Connor Belizik behind the plate. And out on the mound, Gavin Dupre. Delvin Haskell takes a ball. Second pitch of the plate appearance also missing. Dupre is typically a very good strike thrower. On the season, about 66% of his pitches are strikes, which is really good at the high school level. Back up the middle, some trouble with it. Benechek will not be able to get him in time. It's a base hit for Delvin Haskell. Interestingly enough, Dupre's first pitch strike percentage, 58%. 7 ticks lower than his regular strike percentage. When he gets a first pitch strike, it's an out 75% of the time. If he can get into the zone early on in counts, it'll help you out a lot. Dupre, when he's working ahead, tough man to hit, but he's also comfortable working from behind. He has a tendency to fall behind early in counts and bounce back. One on, one out, and a 1-1 count on the first baseman, Wade Serber. Serber hitting .302, 10 RBIs on the season for the senior. Shoots this one the other way, foul ground down the left field line. Drops harmlessly to the ground. We've got some raindrops coming down. Rain was not in the forecast. Might have to shut this window. Make sure it doesn't get on my equipment. It's weird, you can see the sun out in the distance, and we've got one cloud covering us right now and spitting out a little bit of rain. A little bit of cat and mouse going between Gavin Dupre and the man on first, Delvin Haskell. Foul ball off the bat of Serber. Really impressive stuff from this AC team, how they've turned it around in the past couple of years under head coach Chris Loftman, as there's a strikeout to Serber for out number 2. Loftman led AC to an 18-8 record in his first year, which was last season. The most wins in a season since 2015 for the Stingrays, and their second highest total of all time. Short chopper back to Dupre. He'll take it himself for out number 3. Clean inning for Dupre. Allows the single, but keeps the Rays off the scoreboard. First chance for Creekside when we come back on Schlick Sports.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jacks, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jacks is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
Taking a look at the batting order for the Creekside Knights, acting as the home team in this game. They're led off by Jackson, Schlegel, and Belizick. Morton, Williams, Bysham are 4, 5, 6, and then Blancett, Benachek, Romeo rounding things out. The same batting order as last night for Creekside, where they plated 6 runs against a very tough Windermere pitching staff. This is an offense that has come alive in the month of March. They're facing some good teams, and they're producing. They're going up against Atlantic Coast and Garrett Slowitzka in this one. Slowitzka making just his second appearance of the season. He made 1 start, going 3 1/3. So he's into the windup. First pitch to Zach Jackson is a strike. Quickly ahead 0-2 on Jackson. 2-strike pitch is sent to right. Coming in and making the catch is Connor Newman. 1 away, and time now to take a look at the defensive alignment for Atlantic Coast. Out in the outfield, Haskell in left with Pabone in center, Newman out in right. Tibbetts in the hot corner with Prudencio and Baez up the middle. Wade Serber at first and Caden Williams behind the plate. Hunter Schlegel up to the dish. Takes ball 1. Sends this one into right. That's down for a base hit, and that gets all the way to the wall. Schlegel on his way to second. The ball picked up. He's trying for 3. And he is in with a stand-up triple. Hunter Schlegel into scoring position. That the second triple of the season for Schlegel. And that brings up Connor Belizik. Creekside trying to strike first. They were no hit for 3 innings last night. Didn't get a base runner until the 4th inning. Once they got a man on, the offense came alive. As I mentioned, ended up plating 6 runs, 4 of those coming in the 4th. As Belizik lifts one into right field. That ball is carrying, and it is down, up over the wall for a ground rule double. Connor Belizik brings in Schlegel with the double, and it is 1-0 Knights. He's got a lot of power going to that opposite field. Showed it off right there, got a little help from the wind. But he's a guy that can hit one out going opposite field. An impressive swing there. Bounced just in front of the track. Connor Newman didn't really look to have a read on the ball. And Creekside with the lead, a runner in scoring position, and 1 out. Taking a strike is Parker Morton. Creekside doubles are brought to you by Triple Crown Fence. Call today for a free estimate at 305-331-9377. Connor Belizik with the RBI double, getting the Knights on the board as Morton pops this one into foul ground, tracking out of play onto the patio area. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Parker Morton. Morton hitting .360 in the month of March. That's over a span of 8 games. .268 on the season. Takes outside for ball 2. Creekside has plated at least 5 runs in each of the last 6 games. Morton sends this one down the right field line, and that ball drops. Belizik will score. Morton on his horse, headed for second. Now he's going to try for third. The ball's still not in, and it is the second triple of the inning for the Creekside Knights. Make it 2-0. First it was Schlegel, then it was Morton. Sent it down that third base line, that first base line. Drove in Belizik. And I think Newman, not sure what happened, if he fumbled with the ball, got an awkward read off the chain link fence, but took a long time to get that one back in. Ends up a triple for Morton as Williams sends one out to shortstop. Grounds out, the runner stays put at third. 2 outs in the first, brings up Michael Bysham. His 6-game hit streak came to an end last night. He was 0 for 2, also had a sac bunt. Trying to build on the 2-run inning. Takes a called strike 1. Shows bunt with 2 outs. Can't get it down. Count goes to 0-2. Two-strike pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. But Creekside gets to 3 extra base hits in the first inning. Knights on the board with the 2-run advantage as we play on to the second. Two-run advantage for the Creekside Knights. We're in the top of the second inning. Gavin Dupre got to be feeling good. He's got a cushion now on the mound. Had a nice inning in the first against this AC lineup as the pitcher Slowitska takes ball one. AC coming off of a 7-5 loss yesterday to Bartram Trail. Back to Dupre, turns around, throws to first, and sets down Slowitska for out number one. This is an AC team that beat Oviedo. Funny story, Creekside played them 2 years ago in this tournament. I Googled it. What's the pronunciation? Google told me Oviedo. I drove that in, made it a habit, because I didn't want to get the name of the city wrong on the broadcast. Got here, and I said it for about 4 innings before I was informed it's Oviedo. AC beat them 10-0, allowing them to advance out of their pool, even with the loss to Bartram. Runs seem to come with any AC game. There's not too many low-scoring ones. They give up, on average, around 4.6 per game. There's been double-digit runs scored by just one of the teams in 3 of the last 4 games. That pitch inside, Dupre and Belizik thought they had him. Instead, 1 and 2. Chris King yelling out to his guys, no emotion. Gets him with the swing right there. Second strikeout of the game for Dupre. Down goes Newman, brings up Caden Williams after the first 2 men down in the second. Atlantic Coast has given up 9 or more runs in 4 games this season. They've scored double digits in 4 others. They're 0-6 this year when their opponent scores 5 or more. Creekside already with 2. As Caden Williams with the pink bat takes one in on the hands, and I don't even know what you call that. That wasn't a chop. That was a 3/4 swing. Really just kind of flung the hands while keeping him in. 1-1 count. Off the plate and foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the catcher, Caden Williams. Wind in the pitch. Got him looking. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Gavin Dupre. The Knights up 2-0 when we return on Schlick Sports. Tonight's game is brought to you by Happy Pools, Jacksonville's hometown pool service. At Happy Pools, we care enough to know your name when you call. but we're also big enough to handle all your pool care needs. Right now, new customers get their first 3 months of service for just $99 a month when you mention this ad. Text Creekside25 to 904-980-8512 to see if you qualify and see why more local families trust Happy Pools to keep their pool happy. It's the bottom of the order. Blancett, Romeo, Benechek coming up here in the bottom of the second inning. Blancett hitting .279 this season. Takes a called strike one. The Knights plated 2 in the first, had 3 extra base hits, 2 triples, and a double, all to right field. This one down the left field line and foul. Two-strike count on Blancett. Fouls another one out of play. Sends one right back up the middle, and that trickles through into center. It's a leadoff single in the second inning for Tavern Blancett and the Creekside Knights. This will be interesting. The sun sets over the third base side, and we saw this last night at first base. If you look over there right now, you can see the first baseman, Serber, kind of shielding his eyes with his arm, even though his sunglasses are on his head. Romeo tries to get a bunt down unsuccessfully. But we had a couple pickoff moves, and one runner nearly got picked off in that. Blancett, who was at first base, missed a ball that went off his glove because it's hard to see the pitcher and that ball looking dead into the sun. It makes these cat and mouse games between the pitcher and the first base runner very interesting. Oh, 1 count on Tony Romeo. Another pickoff move, and back safely is Blancett. Romeo sends one on a line to short. There's one, throw on to first, double him up. Mistake there on the base paths, getting a little too far off on that one. Now 2 outs. Brings up Benechek. Benechek, now the base is empty, 2 outs. Takes strike 2. Two-strike count on Benechek. Goes up and away. Slowicka had allowed 6 runs in 3 1/3 in his first start. Now 3-2 count. The pitch got him swinging at strike 3. Creekside nets the leadoff base runner, but a line out turned into a double play and a strikeout end the inning. Still 2-0 Creekside when we return.
Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Shacks 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jacks, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget the Brett and Austin Show. They're all in on Trevor. Of course. Download the Action News Jacks Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjacks.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Shacks 24/7. Jacksonville sports, all the time.
(8-9-1), Bias, Pabon, and Prudencio coming up in the top of the 3rd inning. 2-0 Creekside, our score. First pitch swinging. Bias sends it down and into right field. Drew Williams is hurt. It's a leadoff double. Williams, I think, got his foot caught in the fence or something right there, but he is now hurt. Back up on his feet, which is a good sign. Williams heading back out there. Be good to continue. You could tell he felt awkward twist of his foot. Maybe his foot got caught in the turf or something, I'm not sure. Good to see Williams back up and moving. He will continue. It's a leadoff double for Antonio Baez. Brings up Pabon. Dupre now with a runner in scoring position. Opponents against Gavin Dupre hitting 192 with runners in scoring position this season. Look back, the runner at second before the first pitch of the AB. Pabon up at the plate, the center fielder. Showing bunt, pulls back, throw down to second, and they got him! Connor Belizic caught Antonio Baez halfway down the baseline, threw down to second, and he had no shot. One away. Strike 2 on Pabon. Fouled the other way, staying alive. Hitting .300 this season is Pabon. Chopper over towards third. Dupre and Morton both won it. Now it rolls foul. A miscommunication. And heads up, not panicking and realizing you're not going to get that runner at first. Instead of picking it up and giving him a single, they let it roll, see what happens. Ends up a foul ball. You could see Dupre kind of realize that as he was reaching down to pick it up. Smart move there. Outside for a ball. 1-2 count. And he got him looking. So after the leadoff double, a pickoff from Connor Belizik, the catcher, down to second, and a strikeout. That's 2 outs, and the base is empty for the leadoff man, Prudencio. First pitch strike. Prudencio flew out to left his first time up. Takes on the inside corner. 0-2 count, Dupre in control. Here's the pitch. Outside. Ball 1. Dupre, signature smile on the mound. Likes to stay loose out there. Deals, and he rung him up. Gavin Dupre, after the leadoff double, finds a way to face the minimum. Knights with the 2-run lead. Back after these messages on Schlick Sports. That One Painter First Coast is here for your home service needs. We specialize in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, whole house pressure washing, cabinet refinishing, stucco repair, and more. Call 904-417-3557 for your free estimate today. Bottom of the third inning, and it is the top of the order coming up for Creekside. Jackson, Schlegel, Belizik. Zach Jackson flew out to right his first time up, takes one inside for a ball, 1-0. Hard contact to center, and that nearly got over the head of Pabon. Had to jump, reach up, and make the catch. Hard contact from Jackson. The second AB, but right at the center fielder for out number 1. Brings up Schlegel. He tripled his first time up. One that probably should have only been a single, maybe a double, but Newman came in, took a bad angle at the ball, and just rolled by him to the wall. The 1-0. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes on Hunter Schlegel. The wind blowing hard. You can see his jersey pant legs going with it hard out towards right field. The wind has gone down 2 miles per hour, 16. 3-0 green light, fouls it back. Gusts out here are up to 31. The 3-1 pitch. Inside, ball 4, Hunter Schlegel on base. Brings up Connor Belizik. He had the RBI double his first time up. And Creekside doubles brought to you by Triple Crown Fence. Call today for a free estimate, 305-331-9377. 1 on, 1 out. Slawicka takes a peek over towards first. Going for the pickoff move, and Schlegel back in time. Belizik extended his hitting streak to 8 games with his double. Swings through the first pitch, a big-time wave at that one. Reached base 3 times in last night's contest, scoring twice. Takes down and away, 1-1. Up and away, ball 2. Comes set. Slawicka delivers. Missing high again, 3-1. That was pitch number 40 from Slawicka. He's thrown 17 balls, 23 strikes. Struggling to find that strike zone consistently. He's only walked 1 batter so far, but he's falling into a lot of hitters' counts, and that's led Creekside to be able to net 4 hits and 2 runs already in this game. Makes his move to the plate. Belizik drills it to right. Newman tracking it. Makes the catch for out number 2. Morton, an RBI triple his first time up. In this 42 challenge, Morton has now collected 4 hits. Pair of RBIs. Taken off for second on the foul ball was Schlegel. He'll make his way back to first after strike 1. Schlegel stays put this time. Morton takes a ball outside. Getting calls to step off from the dugout. Slawicka still fired and missed outside. The junior Garrett Slawicka stands at 6'0", 136. A switch hitter. Throws right-handed on the mound. That fastball gets up into the low 80s. Schlegel was again taking off on that pitch. And another foul ball. 2-2. Schlegel 1 for 2 on stolen bases this season. Not sure if Creekside trying to test the arm or going for the hit and run. Another pickoff move, and another time Schlegel back safely. 1 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 count. The move to Morton. Misses down and away. The third 3-ball count of the inning for Garrett Slowiczka. The payoff pitch. Ball 4 up high. 2 on, both via the walk for Drew Williams. Seems like Slowiczka is struggling to keep the ball down. He's been missing high a lot. Really doesn't seem to have too much control in general right now. Gets the call on that first pitch for strike 1. Two on, 2 out. Goes inside, catches the corner, 2-strike count. Haven't seen him working too much inside on right-handed hitters. He's tended to stay away in this one. We'll see if he goes back to it right here on Drew Williams. No, makes a pickoff move, and he's got Schlegel breaking for third, tagged out. And another mistake on the base paths for the Creekside Knights ends the inning. Knights get 2 on base, can't bring them home. Through 3 innings of baseball, 2-0 Creekside is our score.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jacks, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jacks is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
Dupre starting things off in the top of the 4th with a strike to Delvin Haskell. 2-3-4 coming up. The Stingrays have compiled 2 hits in the first 3 innings. But it was only for a couple pitches that they've had a man in scoring position. For the most part, it's been a pretty comfortable start for Gavin Dupre. As he's back into the windup. 2-2. Haskell singled his first time up. The left fielder trying to get something started. Takes strike 3 over the plate. That is the 4th strikeout looking for the Atlantic Coast Stingrays, 6th overall. Dupre's got him fooled right now up at the plate. That strikeout pitch was working for him against North Marion. He went on a stretch in that game in which he struck out 5 batters in a row. He struck out 7 of the first 8 that he faced. excuse me, 7 of the first 9. And he gets another. Wade Serber down quickly. And that is the 4th straight strikeout for Gavin Dupre. Brings up Dalton Tibbetts. Grounded out back to Dupre's first time up, way behind the Heat right there. 0-1. Takes the second pitch, lines it right at Aiden Benechek for a 1-2-3 frame. Gavin Dupre keeping the Stingrays quiet. Back for the bottom of the 4th from Daytona Beach. Bottom of the 4th inning, Drew Williams leading things off, takes the ball outside, 1-0. Creekside with 2 runs on the board. They've had 6 men reach base. Left a man in scoring position on a base running miscue to end last inning. Base running and defense, something that has hurt Creekside in recent games and throughout the season. Two things that you'd like to see them clean up, especially as you get into the later stages of the season. However, even without playing their best baseball in those 2 areas, they've still found ways to win. They've come up in big spots. And even though it hasn't been pretty at times, especially in this past week, again, they've found a way. Popped into foul territory. That ball drifting back fair. It's off the line and a fair ball. Drew Williams will get a single. You saw Dalton Tibbetts, the 3rd baseman, was about 10 feet into foul ground. But that wind, as I've talked about, carried that high pop-up back into fair territory. And the leadoff man is on for Creekside. The last 2 days I've talked about, I don't think on the broadcast, but with other people, about Creekside and their wins over Haggerty and Windermere. And in those 2 games, Creekside did not play their best baseball, as there's a foul ball on the bunt from Bisham, strike 1. Committed 3 errors in both those games, and a lot of them in big-time spots, leading to runs. All 3 runs that were scored in the 7th yesterday were unearned. And even with the Knights making these mistakes, And that's something that's tough to do because Windermere and Haggerty, they didn't make many mistakes. They might have made one or two throughout the game. And even when they seem to be playing at their best, Creekside showing a lot of heart, showing a lot of grit, and something that shows a lot about the potential of this team and what they can do come time for the playoffs and throughout the rest of the regular season. One ball and one strike on Mike Bysham. And another pickoff move, and another time back safely Josh Huber, who's running for Drew Williams. Foul ball off the bat of Bysham. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bysham struck out back in the first. And a 1-2 count right here. Good size hole on the right side of the infield. That 4-3 gap. Pitch outside, 2-2. The winner of this game will go on to face Spruce Creek in the 42 Challenge Championship tomorrow. Bysham skies this one on the infield. Caught by the first baseman, Wade Serber, for out number 1. I do not have a time on the games tomorrow. We'll get that probably right after this game. And you can find that on social media, Creekside Knights Baseball, Instagram, my Twitter page, all over. You'll see it. Blansett sends one to left center. That ball is down for a base hit. Huber trying to go for third as the ball mishandled. He might go for home. No, he slid. Now falls around third base. Into second is Blansett. Second hit of the game for Tavern Blansett. Single and an error, and he's into scoring position. Two in scoring position with 1 out. No one in the bullpen for Atlantic Coast, but we are having a visit to the mound. We'll see if this is the end of the night for Garrett Slowitzka. Looks like they're just talking right here. Yeah, I was watching that whole play. I could just see with the Benny Hill music being played over it. Got the ball being kicked around in center field. Josh Huber slid into third and then fell down when he got up and tried to run for home. Just a lot of chaos. High school baseball at its finest. A long talk on the mound, and the home plate umpire out there to break this meeting up. Tony Romeo up at the plate. Lined out to shortstop his first time up. He had 2 hits in last night's contest and the walk-off single in the bottom of the 8th. Comes into this one hitting .316 on the season. He takes ball 1. The 1-0 offering. Good stop by Caden Williams. Gloved that one in the dirt. Now action in the bullpen. A lefty is up for Atlantic Coast. That is Carson Bullard. The 2-0 to Romeo. Check swing, he went around. Strike one. Bullard's got a really awkward release. Comes way over top as Romeo sends this one out into center. That ball will drop for a base hit. 1 run scores. Blanzit will get the stop sign at third. Romeo now making a break for second, and he is in. 3-0 Creekside on the single from Tony Romeo. And he's into scoring position after a wild throw back into the infield. Nick Romeo is up hitting for Aiden Benachek. Romeo hit his first career home run last week. Made the start on the mound last night. Had a really nice performance. He went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, none of them earned. Struck out 9. Inside pitch, ball 1. It is Romeo, then the top of the lineup for Creekside. 2 in scoring position with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Already 3-0. Strike 1 across the plate. The 1-1 to Romeo. Slap foul down the left field side. Good lead out at second for Tony Romeo. Good chance he scores on anything to the outfield. And there's one to center. That's down for a base hit. Scoring is Blanzit. Tony Romeo coming home, and he is in. A 2-run single for Nick Romeo extends the lead to 5 in the bottom of the 4th. I do not have the exact number on Nick Romeo and his numbers as a pinch hitter, as tough to keep track of those statistics at the high school level. But he's got a very high success rate in that pinch hit spot. He's come up big multiple times off the bench. Just seems ready to go. Zach Jackson with 1 on, 1 out, 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Takes a strike, 0-1. Benachek is back in, running at first. Jackson has made hard contact each of his first 2 times up. One was right at the right fielder, one right at the center fielder. He's behind 0-2 in the count. Pickoff move, Benachek back safely. The bullpen is now empty for Atlantic Coast. Jackson sends this one to right. That ball drops down in front of Newman. Jackson takes it the opposite way for a single. Two on for Hunter Schlegel. Jackson picked up 2 hits in last night's game. Gets one on the board here, and that's going to do it for Garrett Slowiczka. Thank goodness. That is the last time I'm going to have to say that last name tonight. Carson Bullard, much easier name to pronounce, coming in after this pitching change brought to you by Brightway Insurance, the Baselli Agency. When you're ready to make a change for your home or auto insurance, go to bwquote.com.
That One Painter First Coast is here for your home service needs. We specialize in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, whole house pressure washing, cabinet refinishing, stucco repair, and more. Call 904-417-3557 for your free estimate today.
In this pitching change brought to you by Brightway Insurance, the Baselli Agency. When you're ready to make a change on your home or auto insurance, go to bwquote.com. Carson Bullard is into the game for Atlantic Coast. He's been one of, if not the top arm for the Stingrays this season. He's appeared in the most games, 7 of them, starting 3. Gone 12 innings with a record of 1-1 and an ERA at 1.17. He struck out 14 while walking 10 in his 12 innings of work. He'll get set to face a fellow lefty in Hunter Schlegel. Bullard pitched in that game against Creekside back in February. He earned the save in that contest, and he's got a really awkward release. There's coming over the top, and then there is what he does. It's nearly straight down. You'll see right here on this first pitch. And he gets really low towards the ground. Schlegel tries to lay down a bunt unsuccessfully. I'd imagine that puts a lot of pressure on your shoulder. It looks like it hurts to throw like that. But it works for him. Went 1 1/3 against Creekside, striking out 2. No walks, no hits, no runs. And he is trying to limit the damage as there's 2 on, 1 out, and 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. A 1-1 count. Knights up 5-0. Schlegel is 1 for 1, also reaching on a walk. He tripled back in the first. Takes one down and away. 2 balls and a strike on Hunter Schlegel. Opponents against Bullard hit 196 this season. The southpaw stepping off the rubber. 2-strike count. We'll see if he tries to get him to chase or attacks the zone. Comes set up by his head. Fires. Maybe just a little outside. Couldn't tell if that was low. Puts the count at 3-2. Benechek on second, and Jackson stands on first. Got him swinging through the heater for out number 2. Brings up Connor Belizik. I'd love to see the splits, lefty versus righty for Bullard. I feel like with his release, it'd be tougher on lefties than righties. Belizik is 1 for 2. RBI double and a fly out to right. He's gone opposite field both times. Second pitch of the plate appearance. Off-speed pitch, breaking ball into the zone. Says on Perfect Game back in November, Bullard topped out at 77. That fastball seems a little faster, probably just due to the awkward release and how it's a long stride towards the plate. Gets on a hitter quicker. Goes with the curveball that's in the mid-60s. And it's ball 2. Just a two-pitch mix, according to Perfect Game. He's got a lot of length out there. Tall and lanky. 6-0, 150. Runners going on the pitch in the dirt, and both will advance 90 feet. Two in scoring position for Connor Belizik in a 3-1 count. With 2 in scoring position, 2 outs on the scoreboard. Belizik takes ball 4. I think everyone kind of thought that was strike 2. The Knights will take it as the bases are loaded for Parker Morton. He's reached base twice, once on an RBI triple and once on a walk. Bases loaded for Parker Morton. First pitch swinging, he was out in front of that one. Set is Bullard. There he goes. Curveball into the zone. 0-2 count. Creekside with 3 on base, 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. The 0-2 pitch. Popped up on the infield. Bullard under it, makes the catch to retire the side. Creekside leaves the bases loaded, but plates 3 in the bottom of the 4th, extending their lead to 5-0.
Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Shacks 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jacks, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget the Brett and Austin Show.
They're all in on Trevor. Of course.
Download the Action News Jacks Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjacks.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Jacks 24/7, Jacksonville Sports, all the time.
It's a shot of the Riverwalk across the Halifax River. Really cool stuff driving through that last night. Got the trees decorated with lights, some fountains, nice little walking area, benches, park, a lot of nightlife and food over there. As Gavin Dupre starting his 5th inning of work. 1-1 is the count. Garrett Slowiczka up at the plate. Way behind the fastball there. 1-2. Dupre looking for strikeout number 8. Here's the pitch. He got him! That fastball has been overpowering Stingrays in this game. He's got a good 5-pitch mix out there. And he's using that fastball to set up his off-speed pitches beautifully. And even there, it's a 1-2 count, you're ahead, and sometimes pitchers will dance around the strike zone and try and get him to chase something, especially with the amount of break Dupre gets on his curveball. But no, he sends a fastball over the heart of the plate and just blows it right by Slowiczka. 0-2 on Connor Newman. The 2-strike offering just outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wave and a miss at strike 3. Drop 3rd strike. 2 up, 2 down, both on the strikeout. And that number continues to rise for Gavin Dupre, now at 9. He has now struck out 7 of the 9 Stingray hitters at least once in this game. Now Caden Williams, the catcher, takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Five nothing our score in the top of the 5th. Creekside plated 2 in the first, 3 in the 4th. And Gavin Dupre has been dealing against a very tough offense. A team that came in hitting over 300, averaging over 8 runs per game. The 1-2, and he has shut them out through 5. 10 strikeouts for Gavin Dupre. He just keeps on rolling. Back after these commercials and this break on Schlick Sports.
That One Painter First Coast is here for your home service needs. We specialize in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, whole house pressure washing, cabinet refinishing, stucco repair, and more. Call 904-417-3557 for your free estimate today.
Welcome back to Jackie Robinson Ballpark, bottom of the 5th inning, and Josh Huber is pinch hitting for Drew Williams. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes ball 1. Creekside with the 5-run advantage. They've got their starter, Gavin Dupre, sitting at 56 pitches. Bunt down from Huber, and it will roll just foul. 1-1. Creekside batted around in the 4th inning, got 3 runs home. Huber taking outside, 2-1. The final line on Garrett Slowitska goes 3 1/3, giving up 5 runs, all of them earned. He allowed 9 hits, struck out 2 batters while walking 2. Huber takes ball 4. Leadoff man aboard for Creekside in the 5th. Brings up Michael Bysham. Samuel Chung getting warm in the Creekside bullpen. I was told before the game Gavin Dupre had a pitch count at 60. That was where they wanted to hold him for this one. Into foul territory and onto the roof. Strike 1. Dupre threw 21 pitches last night. So have to watch the usage in this one. He's worked very efficiently through 5 innings. Even with 10 strikeouts, he's thrown just 56 pitches. Not to mention 42 of them strikes. So let's crunch some numbers really fast. 75% strikes from Gavin Dupre in this game. Michael Bysham down on the strikeout. Brings up Tavern Blancett. He is 2 for 2. Singled and scored an inning ago. Checking on the runner, Huber back safely. Looks like Reese Knight is also up and moving down the left field line. Curveball, missed for a ball. Blancett was not expecting a curveball right there. He got his foot down and seemed to be way out ahead of that thing in terms of his momentum. Takes ball 2, 2-0. Trying to find the zone, Carson Bullard. Pickoff move back to first. Josh Huber is safe. Good 2-0. Hits the outside part of the plate. Creekside going for their 6th win in a row. After a 3-4 month of February, as that goes in and hits Blancett. 2 on, both on free bases. Tony Romeo looking for another RBI. Creekside was 3-4 in February, currently sit at 6-2 in the month of March. After being swept by their rival Bartram Trail in their 2-game series, they have bounced back in a major way, winning 5 in a row, knocking off Haggerty and Windermere. They've got some serious momentum and now trying to close out a win against Atlantic Coast. And a win would advance them to the tournament championship against a familiar foe in Spruce Creek. That would be, and if they were to lose, they'd face Windermere. So, I mean, 3 of the 4 teams they face in this tournament, they'd have played 1 game against before. And this second time around against AC, Creekside playing much better. They struck out 10 times in that first matchup. And that loss to Atlantic Coast snapped a 7-game win streak against the Stingrays for Creekside. Romeo down via the strikeout. Brings up Aiden Benechek. Just a 5-run game. Still 6 outs to play with, and that Stingray offense, though they've only mustered 2 hits in this game. You get into that bullpen, which is a little bit thin right now, you've got a chance. Samuel Chung would be making his first varsity appearance on the mound. Another hit by pitch. Runs in and gets Benechek. Now Zach Jackson with 2 outs and the bases loaded, trying to add some breathing room. Bullard has come in and allowed 4 base runners, 2 walks, and 2 hit by pitches. He's gotten a pop out and 3 strikeouts. Creekside has been unable to make any solid contact against him yet. Jackson trying to change that. He takes a strike. Oh, 1 is the count. Bullard, after shaking off a sign, comes set. Fastball runs high and away. Huber on third, Blanson on second, Benechek on first. Inside pitch makes it 2-1. Jackson probably wanting to remain patient, seeing the amount of free bases Bullard has allowed here since entering this game. And nope, he sends this one to center, and it's a bloop single. 1 run scores. Here comes Blanson. He is in, and in at second is Zach Jackson. A 2-out knock makes it 7-0 Creekside. Zach Jackson starting to get into a rhythm up at the plate. Came into their contest yesterday with the batting average around 120. Picked up a couple of knocks last night, 2 for 4 in this one. He's been making good contact, working good at bats throughout the season, and now he's starting to see some results. Seeing some hits fall and making an impact. Drives in 2 runs there. Makes it a 7-run ball game. Hudson Hyatt hitting for Hunter Schlegel. Swings 1-1 the count. Runners on second and third. Hyatt, the sophomore, 0 for 7 at the plate. He's reached base 4 times this season, 3 on a walk. 1-2 the count. He's made some hard contact, just hasn't seen anything fall yet. Looking for another 2-out base hit for the Creekside Knights. Called strike 3. Just nicked the black and ends the inning. 2 more runs come through for the Creekside Knights on the 2-out single for Zach Jackson. 7-0 Creekside leads as we play on to the 6th.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jacks, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jacks is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
Antonio Baez leading things off. Gavin Dupre went way inside. He's back out for his 6th inning of work. Was given a thumbs up to the umpire, sarcastically asking for a strike 1 call. One thing I've admired about Dupre is he likes to stay calm, have fun out on the mound, something he's done since his very first start as a freshman. You'll often see him smiling, laughing out there. He enjoys himself, and it works. Baseball is fun, especially for Gavin Dupre. The 2-strike delivery to Baez. Down and away. Full count. Reese Knight and Sam Chung both throwing in the bullpen. Close pitch. And it is called ball 4. Leadoff man aboard. Brings up Pabon. If you're AC, you got to be thinking this is your chance to muster something offensively. Give yourselves a chance. Down by 7. Top of the 6th. You get the leadoff man on. Time to string something together. Bisham ranging back. Makes the catch in center, 1 away. Brings up Prudencio. 1 on, 1 out. He is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. Swings and fights one off. Oh, 1 the count on the leadoff man. Back pick to first, and they got him, but they didn't get the call. It's a 7-run game, so I'm not going to say too much. From my vantage point, and here's my color commentary. From my vantage point, the glove got down in between the foot and the base. And it was a pretty clear out. We'll see if the home plate umpire, they're not even going to meet. 7-0, Noah. One on, one out, 1-1 the count. Ball 2 to Prudencio. This is an Atlantic Coast team that came in hitting .315 on the season. Prudencio, one of 3 Stingrays hitting over .400 on the year. Dupre has limited this lineup to just 2 hits. We're in the top of the 6th. What a pitch there. Looked like the slider coming back into the zone. Maybe a cutter there. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. A late swing, just able to fight that one away. Coming into this game, there is not a single man in this Atlantic Coast lineup hitting below .280. Threats all around. And Dupre has silenced them tonight. Check swing, and he went around. Strikeout number 11 for Gavin Dupre. Creekside pitchers have allowed just 1 earned run dating back to the start of last week. Dupre shutting out Atlantic Coast so far in this one. Pitchers have been putting together really impressive performances. They are starting to run low. You're playing 4 games in 4 days. By the end of tonight, they will have used their 3 starters. Tomorrow will be interesting in seeing the depth of Creekside's pitchers. Drew Williams and Mike Bysham. Well, Drew Williams did get hurt earlier in right field with that foot. We'll see if that affects his availability, but pitch count-wise should be good. The 0-2. Up high, ball 1. But at this point of the week, everyone's starting to run low on pitching. It's just about your depth and what you're able to do with your roster. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Make it 12 strikeouts for Gavin Dupre. What a night. Belichick, Morton, and Williams due up. It might be Josh Huber. He might have come in for Drew Williams. Yeah, Williams is putting on a long sleeve shirt. Huber's been in. I forgot to look for that out on the field in the top half of the inning. A 1-1 count on Connor Belichick. He is 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Drove in a run back in the first. This is a game where it feels like since the first inning, since the start, Creekside's been in control. They have dominated the Stingrays in this contest. One, two is the count. Belichick takes up and in. Atlantic Coast coming into this game were 0-6 when their opponents scored 5 or more. Creekside with 7. And I'd say there is a solid chance that Atlantic Coast moves to 0-7, making up all of their losses. I'd say it's fair to assume that there's a correlation between runs allowed and wins and losses, especially with this AC team. You've seen, especially when you get into the playoffs, you got to have multiple ways you're able to win. If one night the arms aren't working and teams are putting up runs, you got to be able to stick with them, fight back, and make sure those bats are working. And when you're averaging 8 runs per game, you'd imagine that the record is not winless when you give up 5 runs. Morton swings through strike 3. Carson Bullard with another strikeout. Brings up Ryan Robinson, making his first varsity plate appearance. Number 25, the sophomore. Got a perfect game grade of 8. Has really stood out on JV. He's been with the team here in Daytona this week. Sends one to center. That ball is caught to end the inning. 1-2-3 inning for the Knights. They lead 7-0. Reese Knight. Oh, no, that's Anthony Romeo, number 16, running out onto the field. The lights threw me off. We'll see who comes in to close this one out. It's going to be Samuel Chung walking in from the bullpen for the 7th inning.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Happy Pools, Jacksonville's hometown pool service. At Happy Pools, we care enough to know your name when you call, but we're also big enough to handle all your pool care needs. Right now, new customers get their first 3 months of service for just $99 a month when you mention this ad. Text Creekside25 to 904-980-8512 to see if you qualify and see why more local families trust Happy Pools to keep their pool happy.
Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Shacks 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jacks, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget the Brett and Austin Show.
They're all in on Trevor.
Of course. Download the Action News Jacks Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjacks.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. Jacksonville sports all the time.
Top of the 7th inning, and Samuel Chung making his varsity debut on the mound, looking to finish this one off. The sophomore stands at 6'2", 185. He will take on 3-4-5 coming up for Atlantic Coast. We've got a pinch hitter, Anthony Selahan, hitting for Wade Serber. One ball and one strike. Gavin Dupre, the Creekside starter, goes 6 innings. Phenomenal pitching performance on the mound. He allows 1 hit. I scored at 2. Not sure which one they scored an error on Game Changer. 2 hits. No runs. Struck out 12 batters while only walking 1. Really impressive performance for Gavin Dupre. 2-2 count. Chung delivers. Down and away, 3-2. Into the windup. Here's the pitch. Bounced it for ball 4. Leadoff man aboard in the 7th. Brings up Dalton Tibbetts. Atlantic Coast has not been shut out this season. The least amount of runs they've scored is 2. They've got the leadoff man on and trying to muster something here in the 7th. One ball and one strike on the third baseman, Tibbetts. He is 0 for 2 in this one. Hitting .444 on the season. Skies this one into right field. Huber towards the wall, makes the catch. Nice play out there in right field. That is not Josh Huber. That is Jonah Leiby in right field making the play. They are messing around with that right field spot too much. Gotta let me know. Slawicka with 1 on, 1 out. And now 1 ball and 1 strike. Pickoff move and back safely at first is Selahan. Pretty clear message there from Chris King. Don't care about that runner, get the hitter. Up and away, 2-1. Three balls and 1 strike. Slowicka is 0 for 2. Takes strike 2 at the knees. Going to have to collect his bat and step back in. I think he thought that one was low. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. AC down to their last out. Carson Bullard hitting in place of Connor Newman. First pitch, ball out. Showing bunt, pulling back, and taking ball 2. Runner on the go. Belzic, throw to second, wild. Nice backup there from the second baseman, Tony Romeo. It was a called strike, 2-1, and a runner in scoring position for Carson Bullard. Bullard is 2 for 10 this season at the plate. He has got 1 RBI. Chung comes set. His 2-1. Up and away. 3 balls and a strike now. The 3-1 pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. Runner breaking for third, and the throw goes down the left field line. Well, there goes the shutout. AC gets a run across. Brings up Caden Williams. That'll be unearned to Sam Chung. Creekside was so close to an error-free game, too. 2-0 on Caden Williams. Ball low, 3 balls, no strikes. Reese Knight jogging in from the bullpen. Imagine he probably comes in if Chung walks Williams. Here's the pitch. Ball 4 is low. And we're going to step away for a pitching change brought to you by Brightway Insurance, the Baselli Agency. When you are ready to make a change for your home or auto insurance, go to bwquote.com.
That One Painter First Coast is here for your home service needs. We specialize in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, whole house pressure washing, cabinet refinishing, stucco repair, and more. Call 904-417-3557 for your free estimate today.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jacks, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jacks is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
Creekside Baseball is brought to you in part by Triple Crown Fence. Call today for a free estimate at 305-331-9377. And this pitching change brought to you by Brightway Insurance, the Baselli Agency. Reese Knight on for the Creekside Knights with 2 on and 2 out. 1 run in for Atlantic Coast, making it 7-1. He needs 1 out to finish off this game. He faces Antonio Baez. First pitch swinging, foul tip, throw down to first. Not in time, strike 1 at the plate. Reese Knights 0-1. Back up the middle, off the glove of Romeo and into center field. Throw to third from Bysham. Got him! And this one is over. The run will count at the plate. So our final score is Creekside 7, Atlantic Coast 2. So after a little flair of the dramatic at the end, Creekside comes away with the 7-2 win. A great performance on the mound for Gavin Dupre. Goes 6 shutout innings, striking out 12 batters, only walking 1. Creekside with a dominant win over the Stingrays will advance to the 42 Challenge Championship tomorrow in a rematch with Spruce Creek. You can tune into that one live on Schlick Sports. Stay tuned online for game time. I will see you then. But for now, I'm Noah Schlicksup signing off, saying good night from Jackie Robinson Ballpark.